And I'm back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is pretty late, I'm not gonna lie. This is like, what day is it? It's like June 11th. So I'm 11 days late filming my May favorites, but I have been sick. And I've also had a few videos that I wanted to post before I posted a favorites video. So that's been up. Don't mind this either. I was just scratching myself because it was itching. It's not a hickey, girl. Don't play that. I don't have too many products that I was loving in the month of May, because most of the products that I'm into now and that I'm loving right now, I got it like late May and into June, so I can't really put them in my May favorites, but I do have a couple that I want to share with you guys, so let's jump into the video. My first favorite is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, and I went back to using this because since I have been sick for about 2 weeks now, my skin has been super dehydrated and dry, and you guys know I'm not a dry person. I'm pretty oily, but now, like, girl, I need like 20 gallons of water a day because I'm that dehydrated. Being sick really just like flushes you out, not in a good way. Like, I feel so like dead and like, ugh. I know it doesn't really show in my videos, but girl, day to day I am such a dead human being, you don't even know. Before I put on my makeup, I love to just spritz this all over my face, and it gets it really plump and hydrated, so that way when I go in with foundation or another primer, it's really smooth and it's really like supple on my skin. It's not like it's just like clinging to my dry patches and it just looks cakey and weird. So I went back to using this and I absolutely love it. My next two favorites are foundations that I am completely obsessed with, and I went back to using in May, and then I got one later in May, and they are both the L'Oreal Infallible foundations. This is the Pro Matte that I've been using pretty much all throughout the month of May, and I'm still using it. It's what I have on my face right now. And then about a week ago, I got the L'Oreal Pro Glow, and this is so freaking beautiful. I love it. I did a whole video on this, like a first impressions demo and a review where I got to like check in with you guys throughout the day, and I love this foundation. It's so beautiful, and it really compares to my high-end foundations like the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. Girl, I got mine in the shade 208 Sun Beige, and I just love it. I feel like it applies flawlessly. It looks beautiful on the skin, super like airbrushed. I love it. The Pro Matte, I use the shade 107, and it is a little tiny bit too dark for me. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is my perfect summer shade, and this is 107 Fresh Beige. To apply those two foundations, I've been loving this Wet n Wild brush. It is part of their like limited edition brush set. This is the buffer brush. I believe it's called like the full face buffer brush or something like that. It has little like pink tipped brush hairs like this one right here, but mine is dirty and full of foundation, so you can't really see the pink. But I absolutely love this brush because it's so perfect to apply foundation. I actually kind of like applying foundation more with this brush than a beauty blender, and that's a huge statement because you guys know, well, what are you doing here? These strings just not working with me today, huh? So that is a huge statement for me to say, but I do love applying foundation more with this brush than any other thing in my collection. And this brush is literally like $3. They also just came back in stock on Wet n Wild's website, so if you have been eyeing any brush, and I recommend all of them because I just love every single brush part of this collection, go get your hands on it. I love them. My next favorite is a bronzer, and this is a bronzer that you guys saw in my first impressions video, but I have been using it for, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks already. And this is the Sephora I Love Cushion Bronzer in the shade 02 Medium/Tan. I absolutely love this bronzer. It does come with like this little cushion thing, and I really love to apply it with this. Like, the applicator that it comes with is just perfect. I love it, but I also like applying it with a stippling brush because, girl, it just leaves the most flawless finish I've ever seen a bronzer like give. It's beautiful. I cannot explain it to you guys. You just need to pick this up. Like, if I've ever recommended anything, don't get that. Get this because it's beautiful. I love it. I'm not sure that it would actually show up on like deeper skin tones, but people like me, or maybe a little darker than me, or definitely lighter than me, this is perfect. So I love it. And I want to say that this was about 16 or 15 bucks at Sephora, and it is part of the Sephora makeup line, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I totally recommend it. You need this in your life like yesterday. Another favorite of mine this month has been the Becca and Jaclyn Hill face palette. So this is what it looks like. You guys have probably seen this everywhere. I'm not a fan of the highlights in my palette because I feel like I got a bad batch, and these are so freaking hard, like no one's business. They're very ashy and like very dry on my skin, so I don't like the highlighters in my palette. I think I am gonna return it and see if I get a better batch palette. But I have been loving the blushes. This blush right here, girl, the one with like pink shimmers in it, I love it. It's one of my favorite blushes like ever. It's beautiful. I love how pinky and corally at the same time, but yet shimmery it is. And then this color right here, Amaretto, is really nice also. I just love this palette, and this packaging is everything. My next favorite is this Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder, and this is in the shade Precious Petals. I am obsessed with this freaking highlight. It's so buttery, so smooth. Definitely the best drugstore highlighter I've ever used in my entire life, that I've ever come across in my entire lifespan, human being, whatever. It is so beautiful. It's the highlight I have on right now, and it's just, oh my god, I can't. It's right here. It's just so perfect. Everything about it is just flawless. Like I'm so obsessed with this highlighter. It's so pretty. The packaging isn't the best, but I mean, I really can't complain. I bought this off of eBay for about 15 bucks, and I would definitely pay like 3 times that price because it's that good. Like, it's super comparable to a lot of my high-end highlighters, and it's just so pretty. It's perfect. I love it. My last 2 favorites are lip products, and you guys know I always save my lippies for last. So the first one is this Kylie lip gloss in So Cute. I love this gloss. I cannot wear it by itself because it's way too nude for my liking, and I'm way too kind of like tan or like olivey to wear a gloss like this on its own. It's right there. It is super pretty. I would recommend it if you are of a lighter skin tone than me. I feel like it would look really nice on its own, but for me, I like to just place this on top of any kind of lipstick that I'm wearing, mostly like a pinky nude. I feel like it complements it so nice. It looks perfect with every single eye look that I do. I really do like the formula of these. I am using the one that has like the freaking messed up bristles or whatever, but I did get the new one. Like, she shipped out new ones with like the shorter brush tips. I just don't want to open that one yet, but I do really love the formula on this. It reminds me a lot of MAC's lip gloss formula. I just love it. It's my favorite formula ever. I just love it. I love all her glosses. This one literally and like perfect. I love it. But this one especially has been a favorite in May. My last lippy favorite is actually this Lancome Juicy Shaker. For a while, I was debating whether to get this or not, but I knew that I really wanted it. Like, in the back of my head, I always had this thought that like, I need this in my life. Like, I totally need this because it is a beauty lip oil, and it's not so much like a lip product, like a lip gloss or a lipstick, but it has the most beautiful tint ever. So it looks like this. It's like a little margarita shaker. You shake it up. You're not supposed to use it without shaking it because the oil and the actual lip color separate in this little tube. You actually see it once it starts separating, and it just looks really weird. Like a really old lip product, but I promise you it's not. So you just shake it up and you kind of hear it shake. You untwist the top, and it has this really nice like sponge like material on it, and then you kind of just like dab it onto your lip, and it has the most prettiest pigment ever. Now, these don't really last that long because they are more of an oil for your lips, but it's super hydrating, super like oh, it just leaves my lips looking so juicy, and I love it. I feel like this is the perfect product for the spring and for the summer. I mean, who am I kidding? Spring is pretty much over. But definitely for this summer, it kind of reminds me of the YSL oil tints. I remember I had a sample of that not too long ago, and I wasn't like the biggest fan of it ever, but I definitely like this one a whole lot more. That pretty much wraps up my May favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and tell me what you were loving in the month of May, even though we're pretty far from May. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye guys.